Today in the crypto space, we see the market getting a bit of negativity. Bitcoin back to about 80,000, down approximately 3.5%. Ethereum still below that $2,000 mark, down approximately 2%. And the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, some dips to be had, of course, Litecoin, Hyperliquid, Ondo, and a few others. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project, a project that everybody should consider having in their portfolio, and that project is called Chainlink. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here. The market so far is looking a bit weak. We are getting a bit of a rollover. You can see a clear distribution across the market on lower time frames. This is a bit of an issue, of course, because the question is, are we coming down for a lower low? We do see that the market cap is at $2.7 trillion, down approximately 4% for the day. Not a good look, of course. However, not much trading volume still, so there's not that much market participation. But I can see an uptick in volume. Unfortunately, as we do see it roll over, we see a bit of an uptick in volume at the tail end of this graph right here, which is not a good look. Obviously, we don't want market participation here in this sell volume. We don't want sell volume. We don't want sell pressure. We want to see buy pressure. We want to increase in volume when we get a bullish response. And as of now, we haven't really gotten that. Every time we are in an uptrend, we see a decrease in volume. Okay, so we want market participation to flip. We want market participation to get bullish and to start pushing upwards instead of downwards. All right, guys, so let's scrape to the top 100. And of course, we'll take a look at that Bitcoin chart today, and we'll also focus on Chainlink a bit, because obviously Chainlink is a project that you should consider having in your portfolio. It is the main Oracle. It is one of the heavyweights out there with regards to Oracle software solution for all of the smart contract platforms. And because of that, if we do see an uprise in the crypto space, we are going to see Chainlink do very well. Okay, so consider all of that. We'll definitely get into the charts in a second. We do see a lot of these charts, looking very similar. Some of them are still grinding to the upside. BNB is showing lots of strength, up 1%. We see XRP showing lots of strength, of course, up a little bit, but not much, at least going sideways, or at least in a slow grind to the upside. And at the end of the day, if there's no volatility, it's pegged at zero, we're okay. Given the fact that the rest of the space is kind of down, you do see a few percent to the downside here and there. XLM looking pretty good, nice pop to the upside. But again, Chainlink, at the bottom of the range, HBAR 6.6% to the downside, and the list goes on. You can see that we're about a 5% dip on average throughout the market. And that's today, of course. Hyperliquid a little bit more, and you can see that there are some random anomalies that are looking great, but we are getting that negativity. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to consider. When you see a project like Sonic right now showing strength at 6% to the upside, in a slow grind upwards, which is nice, we want to see some evidence that perhaps the bearish response does not have enough strength to sweep the lows, to basically hunt all this liquidity that's trapped up in here into these longs, right? And the thing is that if the bears respond with a weak response, we're going to see a higher low, and that could give us a confirmation that the bulls are ready to go. The problem is that we do see the rest of the market looking pretty red, and that gives us a bit of an indication that maybe Sonic is doing its own thing at the current moment, which is great. But be careful and be prepared that it could follow through with the rest of the market as well. So Sonic right now is looking good. However, guys, if we start to see some strength in this market, projects that are neutralizing negativity will absolutely rock it. It is a sign of neutralization. It is a sign that ultimately the momentum did reset, but the price didn't follow through. And that means that there's too much strength in actually to see some of the price fall. And right now, as you can see it, Sonic is looking pretty good. So, there's not a lot of them that are looking that good at the current moment. And I would say be careful even with Sonic. And you can see, like I said, market is down approximately 5% on average today. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts. So let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin at the current moment, getting a bit of a dip on lower time frames. This is the daily time frame, obviously, and the daily time frame still suggesting that we're in a downtrend. As you can see, we double top. And we're getting that follow through right into here. I don't see any sign of reversal on the daily. However, on lower time frames, there could be a bit of magic cooking. Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. Now, what I'm most concerned about, and of course, the TA right here is getting real hectic with all these lines. And the reason why is because we've been hanging around here for so long. And I'm really speculating on the fact that if we actually come down to about 70K, obviously 70K, 72K, 73K is the zone where I'm, worried that we do come down and hunt some of this liquidity. And if we do, that is a high probability reversal point. However, if we do get any indications of a reversal around this zone, I'm also interested. Why? Because we are getting signs of bullish divergence. You can see that very clearly. Higher highs, lower lows on the price action and higher lows on the momentum. Expansion is coming in, tapering in, which means that the bears are slowly losing their strength to the downside. Obviously, I don't like that the trend oscillator EMA are still facing down with red histogram bars, but there's a bit of divergence right here, and there could be a bit of divergence forming as we see the next bearish response that we're doing right now. And you can see the bearish response is happening as we speak. Now, if this bearish response shows us that the bears are not showing strength in comparison to the previous impulsive moves down, that means that ultimately the bears have lost their steam, and that's what we want to see a signal of, right? Right at this current moment, we are battling. This is a battlefield at the current moment. You can see that getting that bearish response to the downside. 4 hours already oversold and completely reset. I don't like this EMA cross with one histogram bar. Is it confirmed? Maybe not. Maybe so. I'm a bit curious as to how this plays out. I would like to see this 4 hour candle close and see how it closes, because you can see there's a bit of a battle. And obviously, if you start looking at retracement levels, we're looking like maybe slightly above the golden pocket or something like that. You can see we're at the 0.5 fib, trying to get to the golden pocket, which is a very high level of a reversal, statistically speaking. We got this bottom to act as some support, and if we ultimately get that support right here, it is a confirmation low, a higher low. And if we break the neckline, which is all the way up here, I'm going to just quickly replace this yellow line with something a little bit more reasonable, and we'll put a nice white line in there so we can keep track on it. This is the neckline of that breakout. We need this to break out. Now, a rounded bottom here would be awesome. V recovery, rounded bottom, Adam and Eve structure. Let's get going, right? All of a sudden we come up here, we break the neckline, and we start blasting off. I'm okay with that, because a rounded bottom will give us a good indication of accumulation and obviously give us an indication of follow through from that bullish divergence that we're seeing on the higher time frames, which is right here. So give us some follow through where we can see this momentum finally get overbought. As you can see, we got oversold, and we want to see the momentum, the purple line, get overbought. And once it gets overbought, we'll get nice expansion to the upside, and I definitely want to prepare. So I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm keeping an eye on this. I'm keeping an eye on whether we can actually get a reversal right into the zone. As of now, we're getting really early signs of that reversal. So be careful, guys, because usually upon the reversal, right before the reversal, we do get a lot of volatility. Look at this. Even though this was a short-term reversal, look at the craziness that happened here. Okay, so there's a lot of craziness usually, emotion usually, where we start to get reversal points. Okay, pivot point structures are opportunities to get in, but you have to understand that there's a lot of risk also if you're getting in with too much leverage, because of course there's liquidity hunts and stop hunts and all of that kind of stuff that you got to worry about. Okay, so that's Bitcoin, guys. Pay attention, because we could get a nice move to the upside in the next little while. All right, guys, let's take a look at Chainlink. What's going on with Chainlink? So keep it in mind that Bitcoin is currently pushing down, and I definitely want to kind of zoom out here for a second And the reason why I chose Chainlink today is because not only did we cover this, or I covered this about a month ago, which the price action was right into here, and I was very clear, guys, we need to be patient. We need to be patient and look for that horizontal support. Well, guess what, guys? We are currently at a very, very strong horizontal level of support. Okay, very, very strong. You can see that we got previous bottoms. This was a level of which, you know, lots of emotion got into it. People came down with it, maybe got wrecked, maybe not. And then all of a sudden, lots of profits for people that held into these longs or into support, or got back in on the structure, on the back test, and on the spring, and so on and so forth. The problem is that we did a full retracement pretty much, and people that didn't take profits right now are also crying. So this is a tons of emotion all within this range. Both longs and shorts could potentially have gotten wrecked here without, you know, taking due precautions with risk management and obviously taking profit. So this is important. Now that we're back to the bottom of the range once again, testing a horizontal support that we would love to see a support once again, which is again the $12.78 mark. Guys, if we get a bounce here, it would be epic. No doubt. And the fact that we fell through the volume gap already, and really we filled a little bit of volume here, which is not bad, but the fact that we already came down to this level means that we're very close to potential another bottom. Now, if we start breaking below the $9.50 mark, it's starting to look really bad here, guys. We're making a lower low. What's keeping me really interested is the higher high. We're making higher highs and higher lows. The trend is still our friend to the upside, a very broadening type of, you know, structure as we rise upwards. That's fine. And of course, you know, the bears could lose and the bulls could lose a little bit of exhaustion trying to keep up with these higher highs. However, guys, right now we're at the bottom of the range. You're not exit liquidity. You're not buying tops. You're buying a level of where some people that bought into here are right now showing and expressing tons of emotion. So the question is, how low could the price go? How low could the bears take this to get these people super emotional enough that they're going to get capitulated, or enough to basically get them stopped out? That is the bigger question. So obviously, just to keep in mind, guys, the next level is right here. Tons of liquidity to be taken here if we do come down to that zone. Obviously, we got to take it day by day. But right now, what I am focusing is, number one, on Bitcoin's pivot. If Bitcoin makes a pivot here, we're going to see strong reactions throughout the market, including altcoins, including Chainlink. And obviously, Chainlink in itself, if you look at its market structure, it is still making very, very aggressive lower lows and lower highs into support. Okay, that's the reality. Now, if the bears have enough strength to continue this trend and maintain the aggression to the downside, it is likely that it will just keep on falling and making lower lows and lower highs, trapping up liquidity off of every single relief, people feeling that we're going to get a reversal, and then coming down to lay the smackdown on another lower low, and wash, rinse, repeat, until finally everybody that is you know, looking for that reversal gets so wrecked that they're not looking anymore, and then all of a sudden that's when it's time to start to reverse. And that's when it happens, when everybody has lost their sanity and their capital and everything. And, you know, obviously emotional stability is important here, because if you can weather this storm as it keeps on falling, and very strategically, you know, find a structure that suggests a pivot, then that's when you should be very active. So right now, what am I looking for? Number one, are we oversold? Let's take a look. Let's see, are we oversold? We're almost oversold here on Chainlink. Okay, we got oversold. Is that enough? Usually it's enough. Look how deep this one was, and look how deep overbought this got. This is enough. It's pretty good. It's not too bad. Could we come down for another lower low? Very possible. As you can see, the trend, which is the yellow line, is still in a downtrend. Who knows? We could come down. Orange line, we left orange line from overbought. We're coming down. Are we going to Uno reverse and go overbought again? It happens, guys. But I'll tell you, this is more often. You know, something where we get a bit of a shakeout and then continue. It happens most often. So I'm preparing more for that than, you know, a quick Uno reverse right there to go back overbought. But you can see how this is starting to look really interesting. We made a higher high here, and we're cooking right now to prepare a higher low, which is good. And then we see the momentum go up, and we can long. Every time volatility gets oversold, we will long. and we'll wait for this to go oversold again, and we will long, and eventually we should catch the impulses to the overbought state, where we see momentum go from overbought to oversold, from oversold to overbought, and eventually you start to see this big swing in price action, which we always kind of get, as you can see, overbought to oversold, and you can do that over and over and over, and it happens over and over and over. Just the problem is the volatility in between, depending on your entry, will definitely get you shaken out and so on. So we got to make sure that we analyze this area and slowly deploy our capital and get our entry nice and healthily. All right, guys, so let's look at this in a little bit more detail here. So that's oversold achieved. It's not bad. What I don't like is that the EMAs are still in a downtrend right here. As you can see, we have these EMAs still from this state coming down, and it's currently very indecisive. So what does that mean to me? That means that there's a bit of a battlefield happening. We're not in an uptrend. We're not clearly in a downtrend. It's more of a downtrend right now because EMAs are facing down with red histogram bars, but you can't see the divergence right here. Higher highs on the price, lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the histogram bars, and also on the expansions right here. So the only thing that's not really in our favor are the EMAs, and I would love to see that, to see the EMAs in the bullish control zone above the zero, and I would love to see the EMAs facing up with green histogram bars here on the daily. So far, we did not get it. So the only place that we could possibly get this is on the 4 hour, and even still, we got EMAs facing up, green histogram bars, not in the bullish control zone, and we do see the fact that this thing is looking like this, and maybe we could keep them coming down. That's the bigger concern. So what am I saying here? What I'm saying is market structure is king. I would like to see the market structure give me evidence of a reversal before I go all in here. And the reason being is because until we see a higher high or a higher low, we could continue printing lower lows and lower highs, meaning that the trend is still going to be our friend to the downside, unfortunately. Okay, so that's that. So as I would like to see extreme conditions of oversold, and I want to see signs of bullish divergence. There is a bit of a sign of divergence right now, not quite confirmed yet, but it is there. We see this price action right here, making lower lows right here on the 4 hour, as you can see. And then if you look at the momentum right from here, you can see that we're slowly from here coming down, and sorry guys, right into here, you can see that we are flipping to the upside, little by little to the upside. So I would like to see this get a bit more follow through and obviously get more of a confirmation, lower lows on the price action, and then right into here, we're starting to diverge to the upside. As you can see it better on the daily, we're starting to diverge with that higher low as the price action keeps on falling, which is ideal. A nice divergence would be awesome, but without market structure, giving us a higher high or a higher low, I can't trust it. You can't trust trading just divergences, right? We're getting divergences here too, but you can't trust them without seeing something like this. Higher high, and then give us a higher low. That's fine. We need this. We need this structure. If we can break above this high, awesome. Breaking above local highs, back test, get a higher low, and then go up for another higher high. Awesome. Shoulder, head, shoulder, neckline, we start rocking, we start moving, right? This starts to look like a falling channel or wedge or something like that, but we need this type of structure to kind of feel confident about buying. So what I would do is buy small bags right now, very little, just in case, especially if you have no allocation, if you're new and you didn't buy any and you don't hold any and you're on the sidelines ready to accumulate. Guys, this would be your first moment to say, you know what, I'm going to buy 10%. I'm going to buy 10% and see what happens. If we fall down to this level, maybe get some support here, I'll buy another 10%. Maybe we come down to this level, I'll buy another 10%. But wait for the structure. As soon as we get a pivot point structure, we're going to start to get a lot more bullish here, and you can pivot into basically buy into the pivot right into here. As for example, at least a bit of a structure. You could put a stop loss underneath here. You could do a lot. At least you get a bit of confidence to buy the spot, and then obviously on a run, you take profit on resistance, and the same thing, right? But we need something at least. You can see this is still in a downtrend, and being defensive on your games would have been very useful. But eventually, guys, we should see an uptrend, very similar to what happened here. We should see some support like what happened here, and then bounce, some support, and then bounce, and hopefully go for a bigger, higher high. All right, guys, so this is an interesting chart. Technically, we're still bullish because we're in an uptrend, but also we're in at the bottom of the range looking for desperate levels of support where we don't want to capitulate a lot of the old OG holders. Chainlink is definitely one of those OG projects. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.